All right. Hello, this is Janet. I am live now. I just want to look at this and see. Okay. I think we're okay. Um, all right. Why am I sideways? Hold on. How do you change this? Oh my gosh. Is that better? No? It didn't say that it was going to be sideways when I um all right. Now how do I turn this down? This is not for the week of heart. All right. See, I can move my desk. I could talk to the top of my head. That's what I'm thinking. I didn't realize that my camera would be sideways. Hi, Tamika. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. All right. I'm going to sneeze. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about spiritual stuff. Let's see. I can't get my camera any other way right now. It was set up to be vertical and now it's horizontal. So I apologize. For that. I'm just going to have to move myself. And hopefully I'll be able to read the chat. So I appreciate everybody coming. This is obviously my first attempt at live. So here we are. My camera stand is just where it is, and I don't have the means to change it in the moment. What I wanted to talk about today, though, was the differences between the intuitive sense and the spiritual sense. So today we're going to be doing message or the talking to spirit guides, like channeling. So today we're going to be doing readings, messages from spirit. And when we get messages from spirit, they're generally advice, they're generally guidance, they're generally helping people to grow. The spirit guides are all about building our potential and working with that. So we are on, whether you're spiritual or not, you're on a spiritual growth mission, so to speak. And we gain spiritual growth through our experiences, through our, hi Lorraine, nice to meet you too. So we have spiritual growth through our experiences and all that kind of stuff. It's just, or self-reflection. So our guides, our spirit guides, help us with self-reflection, with understanding, with insight, inspiration. So if you're an artist, most artists are very connected to spirit. And it is so inspiration, and also they give us answers to troubles. Like if we're really troubled or upset about something, we can ask spirit to help us understand it or help us see the way through it, help us solve the problem. So sometimes you'll wake up in the morning and you'll get an insight and you get the answer. It's because you have been talking to your guides at night. Or sometimes you'll be driving or taking a shower, doing something that has a very relaxed state of mind, something that allows you to just sort of veg out, as we used to say back a long time ago. And so when you're in that state of mind, that's when you're in the receptive mode. That's when you can receive what Spirit has to offer. So, that being the case, so Spirit is more about growing, learning, and giving us guidance. Um, Spirit is not so much about prediction. And Spirit has a lot of rules they follow when interacting with people. They always have to be uh, mindful of our autonomy and support our personal power. So it's rare that Spirit guides will say things like, you have to get this job or you have to do this thing. They would never say that. So they're always going to say things that are empowering and help us to make decisions. They're going to allow us to be, can you, Marge, there is a technical issue with my camera. This is the only angle I can do at the moment. Is that what you are asking about? Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me and see the top of my head, then that's all we got. Anyway, so they're going to help us on our spiritual path. They're going to help us grow. They're going to answer questions. They're going to inspire us. Okay. Our intuition, though, our intuition is what guides us in a way that keeps us out of danger. So when we get kind of a foreboding or a bad feeling about something, that's our intuition. So if you can kind of separate the two, the difference between the way Spirit gives messages and the way our intuition operates, then it becomes easy to know which is which. When we're getting the insight, when we're getting the messages, it feels very much the same because Spirit will answer in the same way, through the same system that we get our intuitive messages. So if our intuition is more of a feeling sense, like we get the feeling we have to go a different way to work, or we get a feeling to call someone, then Spirit guides will also operate under that feeling sense. So they will give us the same. So it'll feel the same. The difference is only the type of message that you get. Okay. So if you're a visual person, you'll get visual messages from your guide. If you're get thoughts, you just kind of know something, then you'll get thoughts from your guide. So it just depends on those things. So I would like to give you some messages from Spirit today. And if you want to go ahead and type it in the chat, a question that you have or that you would like a message, go ahead and do that and we'll get to it. Now, everybody has Spirit guides, so it doesn't, even if, like I said, even if you're an atheist, you have Spirit guides. Even if you are, you don't believe you have any, or you don't believe in Spirit guides at all, you still have Spirit guides. So it doesn't matter what your belief system is. And, there's different schools of thought on how many guides we have. So some people say we have a set amount of guides. I've heard 9 is some traditions are 9 and some traditions are few and all that stuff. Some have animal guides and different kinds of gods and goddesses, different pantheons like that. So, um, so it sort of depends. What I don't get a really clear answer when I ask my guides, like, how many guides do people have? I think it depends on the person. It depends on their, what they're here to do, I guess. I don't know. I do know one thing, though, that we get different guides when we start different projects or different jobs. So if you were a engineer all your life and then you decided to go into architecture, you would get new guides to help you with architecture, and your engineer guides would leave, that kind of stuff. So when we're working on something, we get guides that are specialized in that thing, which is pretty cool. So Tamika, I want to answer your question. Let's see, job opportunities. I do. They are showing me a new job. I see you walking into kind of a big building. It looks like it's got about 5 floors. It's a standalone building in an industrial park. You're really happy. You're smiling. You look adorable, of course. And you're carrying, it looks like a briefcase or a laptop. You can't tell. But you have the job. There's nobody there with you. I mean, as you're walking in. Is it a leadership position? Because it feels like you're the boss of somebody, not just yourself, but it feels like you're the boss of somebody. And that I don't know why I don't see anyone else there. I don't see, it just looks like you're smiling and walking into this building. I'm going to ask to see if there's any more information. It feels like you're autonomous. I mean, in other words, that either you're the boss or you're the only person. Oh, good. You're the only person there okay, so you're the boss. Okay, good. It feels good, though. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you so happy. You're really smiling. Um, if I ask them about timing, what I'm seeing is, oh, good. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, so I'm glad you're having a new role. That's just amazing. You're going to be working just on the computer because they keep showing me that computer that you're carrying. It's just like a very slender, like, laptop. And if I ask about timing, you'll either get the okay, get hired in a month, or start in a month. No. You'll start in 6 weeks from now, about that. So you may get the news in about a month, about 4 weeks, and then start some kind of screening or background check process, something like that. But you're going to love it there. And you look fabulous. I mean, I just want to say, you're in this very smart little suit with this cute little skirt. You're adorable, and you're so happy. I see this incredible energy for you. Good work. All right. Anybody else have a question? Or I feel like if we get some more questions, that's great. If not, then I will continue to talk about spirit guides. It does feel like that, Tamika. It does feel like it's outside of your current, feels like a totally different space. But I don't know. We're going to leave that up to however it works out. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know when it happens. Very cool. So, anyway, talking about spirit guides, there are different types of guides. So, like I said, there could be animal guides, there could be angels, angelic guides, there can be ascended masters, there can be ancestor guides, and I think of ancestors as either star nation guides, like, whatever stars we were at before we were here, wherever we lived before we were incarnated on the earth a billion years ago. And then there's also the DNA guides, the guides who are the ancestry of our DNA. So those are the types of guides. And I feel like we have at least one of each, but I don't know. Again, I don't get a lot of clarity on it. I think it's better to stay open. Your belief system stays open in order for you to receive what is the reality for you. We want to be flexible with our belief system when we're working with spirit. That way we can get more information. One of the rules that spirit goes by is the law of non-interference. And that means that if we believe something pretty strongly, they're not going to interfere with that belief. We get to keep that belief. So no matter what your religious belief or any kind of belief, they won't try to challenge it. But if we can be flexible with our beliefs, then we can get more information because there's nothing that will be challenging to it. So even when, we're asking about a job, and yes, Marge, you can ask, most important thing. Wonderful. Okay, sorry, I just got off track reading the chat. Yes, you can ask a vague question. What's the most important thing for you to know? Yeah, I could do that. That's fine. I always say that the best kind of question, if you the clearer the question, the clearer the answer. So when we're clear with our question, we get a lot of clarity with the answer. When we ask a more broad and vague question, that's okay. But if you do that, know that the answer is also going to be broad and vague. So if there's something in your heart and you really want to share it, or you really want to know the answer to it, Spirit isn't going to ask or answer it unless you ask it, especially in a public forum, because they don't want to share something with you that you're not willing to share with the group. So keep that in mind too. So I remember going to many, many psychics many, many years ago and feeling like disappointed that they didn't read my mind and know what I really wanted to know, but I was too embarrassed to ask. So now I know it's because Spirit's not going to jump in and say, sort of take over. They won't disempower me. It's up to me to give or to ask what I want to know. So wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's answer Marge, and then we'll do Lorraine. And I really appreciate Lorraine chiming in as well. Okay, so the most important thing for you to know right now, Marge, is you worry too much. That's kind of broad, but I want to ask for more about that. So what they're showing me is that sometimes you get a little worried about things that aren't, um, let me just say that they're out of control. They're out of your control. So, and that can really tie up your energy. What they would like you to do is when you find yourself worrying something that is basically not yours to fix. Let's say if a friend comes to you and says they're really sick, your job in that is to support your friend. But we can find ourselves getting caught up in the worry of if they're going to be okay. What to redirect that energy is like, what can I do to help? And if there's nothing for you to do, then you wait until you get the signal on what to do to help. If you can do that with all your worries, it'll help you get more into the power that is you, which is, Marge, you're extremely creative and, dynamic and interesting, and your life will become more and more, interesting and more fun as you keep going and as you let go of worries. I don't know if that helps you at all, Marge. Yes, you should move forward with the update on the kitchen, but I am seeing that it might be better to wait until, um, around June. Make sure that you have a plan that you're really happy with. So I don't know how the other answer helped you either. So go ahead and let me know if that was any help at all, or if you have any other question about the other answer that I gave about worry. Okay. When you have, Lorraine, your guide, Lady Mary, is very angelic, very light, very sweet energy. She's showing me white flowers all around her, kind of like very delicate little daisies. It looks really gorgeous. And she has, she's very much a serenity. Now, our guides can tell us a lot about, you know, uh, the way they appear brings a lot of energy to, our lives. And when they're appearing in a certain fashion, okay, thanks, Marge. When they're appearing in a certain fashion, they're, doing so to bring that energy to us. In other words, if your guide is a super deep, powerful, ancient being or appears that way, then it's because you're getting some old ancient knowledge, with that connection, or encourages you to study ancient knowledge. And so when I see this beautiful angelic being, it's this lightness, almost like, childlike energy, and it offers to you to also emulate that in your life. Spend a little time having that innocent feeling of love, that innocent feeling of joy and exploration and wonder, and the attention to the daisies, the little tiny daisies, is such a delicate, um, energy, and a very, ordinary beauty. Daisies are very ordinary flowers. They don't cost a lot of money. They're not. I think they're kind of more like weeds. Anyway, so let's see. Good. So Lorraine, I encourage you to see how you can sit with her and just enjoy that energy. Very nice. So, and the healing energy also that comes with that for sure. And I'm just seeing if there's anything else they want to offer about doing healing. So, one thing I would say is that take it at your own pace and do it in your own way, because what you have is already extraordinary, already, and healing comes in many forms. So, they're showing me like healing with um, crystals is very, very good for you. Crystals, stones. I don't know if you do crystal grids or anything like that, but that type of energy work really um, is what you're more adapted to. So get into it. I love the crystal grid work. As you don't have to do it as hands-on. I don't know if you want to do hands-on healing, but you can do a lot of work when you connect with crystals that is not necessarily hands-on. So kind of sit with your stones, ask them, to inspire you. You may not have a conversation with them, you may not hear the voices of the stones, but you will start getting, the nudges on how to work with them over time. Obviously, you can study more purposefully through different books and teachers and so on. Good, 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 good. So I want to say something about, that's wonderful. So really work with the stones. I mean, that's your that was the first thing that came up, and it feels like the main thing for you. Um, I do want to say something about being chosen and being assigned and the energy that is. So, um, when before we come into the world, we choose what direction our life will take and all that kind of stuff, right? We, what we want to experience when we come into the world. Once we get here, we can always change our mind. So there's that. So it's kind of like, here's the plan, and then we come into Earth and we may change our mind about the whole plan and tear it up and forget about it. Okay. So there's that. But also, one thing Spirit doesn't tell us what to do. So we're choosing. We choose. We choose which direction we go. We have gifts that we share. And the gifts that we share are ours to give or to keep. So we do get assignments and things like that, but they're part of, yeah, for sure. Choose wisely before you come into this lifetime. That's for sure. But so you want to know that you don't have to do anything. You can sit on the couch and eat Doritos for the rest of your life, and there's no karmic pushback for that. You choose what you want to do, whether it's healing. You have I'm going to say, you may have many natural gifts. You may have a natural gift to play the piano, like you're fabulous, piano wonder, and you can play anything by listening to it once and all that stuff. But you don't have to use that gift. It's a gift, but you don't have to use it. It's your choice whether or not you use it. So it's important to remember that this is our lives that we're creating. We're asking for assistance from spirit, and whether or not we're living our purpose or our assignment or anything like that, spirit will still help us. They have no agenda. So we can be a part of whatever we want once we get here. And they can help us with whatever we want. Good. So, all right. Let's see. I'm going to just say, Lorraine says, I couldn't remember this until they revealed what I was to do. I love healing. Very good. And I'm ready as long as my cups are full. Good. Oh, yes. So you definitely want to make sure your cups are full. That's great. And past ancestries have spoken to me. Wow. And I'm ready for peace as life has given me the hardest tasks ever. I passed them all. Wonderful. All right. So one thing also they'll say is to, your joy is the number one goal. So be in joy, be a part of the world and enjoy it as much as you can, even through the tough times, even through the tragic losses and so forth. Ask them to help you be in joy, and the rest will kind of fall in place. Like doing what you love is puts you in joy. When you're feeling, so sometimes the reason why I bring all this up is because sometimes we feel like we're given a task, an assignment, or we're chosen, or we're, have a vocation that we have to fulfill, or some kind of karmic plan, and that if we don't follow that karmic plan, then we're failed, and we have all this stress around it. That is, so if it's a stressful thing to you, if, your assignment or your, whatever, some people say they have to be with their soulmate or whatever. If that's stressful, if your soulmate's a jerk, you have to be with them. I don't care how many karmic contracts you signed before you came into this world. You do not have to put up with abuse. You do not have to put up with hardship. You do not have to put up with someone who makes your life more difficult. You do not have to do a career that is draining and arduous. You want to choose what brings you joy. When you're choosing what brings you joy, that's your life path. That's your life path. Nothing else but that. So when I see Tamika walking into the building like she owns a place with her little laptop briefcase, feeling herself like cute as a button, then that is joy. That is her path. That is her passion and power. And so everyone should be doing this. Everybody should be, living their joy as best they can do in, considering all the circumstances we're dealing with. But when you're living your joy and doing what you love, then you are on your life's purpose. Then you are doing what your soul came here to do and experience. So with that, I'll leave you all. Thank you so much, Lorraine, for being here. And I don't know when I'm going to do this again. I have to get my technical difficulties, so I actually kind of maybe will be in the frame. Anyway, thank you. All right, Lorraine, you take care of yourself. Keep talking to your angels. Keep your angels very busy. Ask them for everything. And hopefully we'll talk again soon, everybody. I so much appreciate you. Take care.